Hello and welcome to probably the worst documentary ever. Before I start, I was not aware that turning the camera sideways turned the footage sideways because it showed otherwise on the screen, so I apologize about any neck injuries, and sorry that I wander too much. Okay, so, hello. Today I am going to explore something that kind of like a lifelong dream, but this. So this is the ST for Steam Tug, I think, Tyee 2, and there's a plaque of it right here. Here's a map, Priest Lake. It's way up here in Mosquito Bay. Yeah, and it just, you can read it if you want. It says the history, especially what, where is it? Especially what happened to it right there. And yeah, I'll let you read that for a moment. And then I'm gonna go get a view from it from a boat launch. So if you look over there, there it is in the water. Yep, there it is, I guess. Pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on a trail and I'm gonna go right up close to it. So, and over there's everything. Here's the trail. Gonna be the shortest hike in the world. Let's hope I'm talking loud enough for the recording to pick it up. Now here we are. There's the wreck. I'm gonna make my way down this slope. And boom, the water's so clear. So, there it is, the remains of the Tyee 2. At least I think it's Tyee. I'm not entirely sure of its pronunciation. It might be T, the T2. I'm pretty sure it's the Tyee 2. Here's a big section of the side of the hull that broke off, and it's mostly intact. It's really sturdy. You can walk on it and everything. People have carved their names into it over the years. Okay, this part's a little slippery. Yeah, then there's a nice little beach here. But, yeah, now we can go over. So, this people have carved their name into. It's the keel, which is how wooden ships like this one are built is that first there's the keel, which is a big block of wood that goes from the front all the way to the back, and that makes the shape of the ship from front to back. And then if you saw all those things poking up, those are ribs. And then those go up on the sides, and that forms like a skeleton, which planks are laid over and bent to form the ship. And, yeah, I might go down there now. So, when we came here, we were planning on bringing the GoPro, but that did not happen. But, so sadly will not be able to see under the water, but I'll try my best to get as much footage as I can. Yeah, there's planks. So it's really cool. So they're above the surface, there may not be much left. But down below, I'll show a picture of the ship sometime, but yeah, what am I gonna say? That the ship's hull is about 2 floors tall, and the lower floor, the bottom of the ship, under the water, is almost entirely intact. But above the water, it's just a few big beams. And also, according to the plaque, that it was a steam tug, and according, all the engine and big metal bits and stuff were removed from the ship. But since it was built, and as far as I'm aware, 1944, the ship English. The ship may have been, the ship must have been converted to diesel, since there is a 6-cylinder inline diesel engine still in it. But it's underwater, and it's too deep, so I can't get the camera out there. Okay, I don't know when it stopped recording. That was an accident, but yeah, still at the shipwreck. And, yeah, I'm gonna go out here a little bit. There is planks in the water. And, too deep out there. I can't get out there with the camera, but, over in the stern, the entire rudder's still there, which is made out of metal, and it's a huge rudder. The propeller's gone. That was stripped because it could have been reused, sold for scrap, repurposed, and metal like that didn't really wanted to go to waste. I'm gonna be careful. There's a lot of nails, but can't really get the footage I wanted. That's disappointing. But yeah, and there's planks strewn in the water everywhere. So under the water, it's quite a mess, but somehow most of the ship is still quite intact, which is quite surprising, saying, well, actually it hasn't been here for that long. It has been here for at least 50 years. So, not terribly long, but it is still quite worn, especially saying that it was lit a flame, since on the history of the plaque, like so many other ships in this area, when it just became obsolete and there wasn't really much value in it, so they just set it aflame to watch the ship burn and sink, because, that was entertaining, I guess. But instead of going somewhere else along the entire lake, the ship stayed afloat, came loose, and floated all the way here to this Mosquito Bay. And, now it's here to rest forever. And, can't really get out there, so I don't have much more to say. So, I guess recording over. Ever since the 1890s, logging was the biggest part of North Idaho. No matter where you were, there was always some sort of logging operations. It would all start with logging camps placed all around North Idaho's various waterways. The men at these camps would saw down massive trees by hand, then transport them either to the water or railroad. Then these logs would get picked up by these vehicles and transported all the way to sawmills to get milled down to lumber for the growing population. In Tyee's case, the logs would get dumped onto the water, were to be tied together and pulled by a logging tug to the Priest River and would be floated down into the Ponderay River, and then would finally make their way to the sawmills. And this is how operations went on the water, and this is why the Tyee 2 was constructed. The Tyee 2 was an 82-foot-long steam tug built in 1944 for said logging operations. As wood being in abundance, she was wood-burning like all the other vessels on the lakes and rivers of North Idaho. The Tyee would serve many years. As her being made so late, sometime along her career, her engine was converted to a 6-cylinder marine diesel engine that can be found on her wreck. But as roads began to surround the lake, boats became obsolete, and one by one they were gone, usually by flame, as the Tyee was. Because once the Tyee became obsolete, she was stripped of anything of value and set aflame to burn and sink. but instead of sinking, she drifted around the whole lake for a few days until she finally came to rest in Mosquito Bay. I am unaware of how long she has been there, but I think that at the very least 50 years. Her wreck lies at a very steep angle with her bow above the water and her stern completely submerged. As mentioned before, the GoPro was forgotten, but to get an idea of what's underwater, you should watch the very end of a video I'll link in the description. And I do plan to eventually go back and get GoPro footage and make an improved documentary. Thank you for watching.